Hey, howdy y'all. It's Angie at Whiskey Woman Whisk. Today I need to get some things cleared out of the freezer. We got some meat coming in, and I went a little crazy buying these cranberries, Thanksgiving, Christmas, you know, and I still have a ton of blueberries left from last year's picking, and we just went picking again the other day. So I'm gonna bring you along, and we're going to make up some cranberry blueberry sauce. Let's get to it. Okay, y'all, I've got my jars heating up in a pot, keep them warm, and we're gonna actually fix this sauce right here at the stovetop inside. During the time we stayed at home last year, anyway, I had to get a new stove because my big burner went out, and it was slim pickings. So we just got a basic model, nothing fancy, and I'll get what I want later, but we needed something. However, this new stove has this weird sensor thing, and it will not let the weight and heat of my water bath canner work on this stovetop. So whatever, I can outside a lot anyway. So we're gonna get this sauce put together, and then I'm gonna take it outside and pop it into the water bath canner. So let's get to it. Okay, the first thing we're gonna need is, I've got 2 bags of the cranberries. Mine are frozen, yours can be fresh. 2 bags equals about 8 cups. And we're also going to add our juice. I am using this, just see if you can find any blueberry, blackberry, blueberry juice, something like that. There's a bunch of different brands. This is what I have. Did y'all see that? Okay. So I've got 2 cups of that blueberry, blackberry going in. Juice. And then depending on how sweet you want it, I'm going to do a little over 3/4 of a cup. So right between there and a cup of sugar. We're going to go ahead and add in our, you can do cinnamon, you can do apple pie spice, you can do pumpkin pie spice. They're all real close. But your preference and whatever you have on hand, any of those will work. Or just use straight up cinnamon. And I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons. And I'm using the apple pie spice. And I'm gonna also do 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now I've turned my stove onto medium, so we can start heating that up. And we're gonna wanna bring that to a good rolling boil. And you'll notice I am using a really big, deep pot, because those cranberries, they swell, they start popping, and you do not want that to overflow your pot. So just kind of stir that around, and we're gonna get that up to a rolling boil. Make sure while these are coming up to a boil that you have got your clean jars, clean, sterilized. You want to have those sitting in hot water to keep those good and hot, so when we put that cranberry sauce hot into the jars, and then we put our jars in the hot water bath, we won't have any temperature shock to the glass. I've got 12 half pints going. I think that this should make about that. We'll see how we turn out in the end. Okay, y'all. I don't know if you can see anything. My cranberries have been boiling for a couple minutes. And if you can see, they're kind of starting to pop and break down a little bit. So now it is time to add our blueberries. They come in like 10 and 16 different size bags. I picked these and froze them, so I'm sure anywhere between those different size bags, or if you have fresh pick. But I've got equal amount, about 8 cups of blueberries going in. Now, those are slightly frozen still, so it will take it another minute to get back up to a boil. And I'm dripping everywhere. Okay, we want to bring that back up to a boil, and we're going to let it boil for about 15 minutes. Okay, y'all, you might as well grab you a drink, because you do need to keep an eye on this while it's boiling for that 15 minutes. We don't want it to scorch or stick to the bottom of the pot, and it really just depends on the temperature of your stove and if your pot is non-stick or not. But just keep an eye on it, grab you a drink, and give it a good stir every now and then. Comes that steam. We are up to a boil. It really just needs to be at a low boil simmer for that 15 minutes. Now your blueberries and cranberries are gonna break down some. So this is where in the next few minutes that preference is gonna kick in of just how chunky do you want your cranberry sauce. You can even get your immersion blender and puree this and get it almost completely smooth. Totally preference. I like mine in between. So I'll probably get the potato masher here in a minute and just kind of mash those up just a little bit more. Not that y'all can see it. Steam. Okay, we still got about 10 minutes. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, y'all, make sure that you keep an eye on it and give it a stir. I have a heavy bottomed pot, but you'll have to be even more attentive to make sure nothing scorches on the bottom if you don't have a heavy bottom pot. So just keep checking and giving it a stir. I did want to let y'all know, I've adapted this recipe from the Ball Home Preserving book. And here is a whole berry cranberry sauce, cranberry rum sauce, and a blueberry sauce. So if y'all want to take a look at those and just check yourself to make sure that you know this is a safe recipe. It's not an approved exact recipe by USDA or the Home Preserving. I've just adapted it. So definitely do your research and do what's best for your family. But I just want to let y'all know that's kind of where I've adapted that from. So we still have about 5 minutes left. Y'all can kind of see how it's starting to break down a little bit. We'll see where we are at that 5 minutes. It is going to get an additional 5 after that because we're going to be adding our bourbon. So we'll give it a few more minutes. Okie dokie. We've done our 10 minutes of a good strong simmer. And can you see that consistency despite the steam? Okay, I think I'm happy with where we are. You could definitely, like I said, mash it up or really puree it down with an immersion blender. But now we're at the point that we're gonna keep on that simmer. We're gonna add about a 1/4 cup of bourbon. And we're gonna let this simmer another 5 minutes. It smells so good. That bourbon just adds that little extra something. Kind of that vanilla-ish, caramelly addition. Now, this is getting really thick. So just like when we're doing those jams, you need to make sure you keep stirring for this last 5 minutes. And be careful because it will pop you and it is really hot. Our sauce is ready. Let's get these hot jars out and start filling. And I have my water bath canner outside heating up. Now, this will stain, so y'all make sure you have something dark or something you don't really care about. We're gonna wanna leave a 1/4 inch headspace. It smells so good. Okay, so what to do with this? Anything you would do with cranberry sauce. You can put it over chicken or pork. You can put it on, if you chill it, it'll be even thicker. And you can spread it like on a sandwich. Just about anywhere you would use cranberry sauce. It's just not as tart and has a little bit more flavors in there. Get the rest of these jars filled, and Okay, we only filled almost 9 jars. So, not quite as much as I thought it would, but I'd rather have those jars ready if needed. So I just dipped my paper towel in vinegar. That's just good. And in the jar, we just want to get them good and clean. This jar, not quite full. You do not want to process that. Your headspace is very important. So I'll just let that one cool down. I'll pop it in the fridge and we'll use it here in the next few days. Another thing I've done with sauces like this is mix it with like some lemon juice and olive oil and make a nice summer salad dressing. There's just so many things. If I think of any more, I'll put them in the comments. But it's sweet but not too sweet, tart but not too tart. Get these on finger tight. Alright, let's get back to the canner.
My canner water is hot, but I did turn it off so we're not supervising. So we gotta get it up.
It's about to rain on me, y'all. Okay, we want to bring our canner up to a boil. Once it's boiling, set your timer for 15 minutes. Then you're going to turn off the heat and let it sit for 5 minutes and then take them out. It's starting to rain. Alrighty, 15 minutes is up. We're gonna turn it off. We're just gonna leave it sit for another 5. Okay, that's time, y'all. Time to get them out of the canner. See if you can see how pretty it is. There goes goes that steam again. Okay, we need to pop, let them cool down and seal, and in about 6 hours probably, or right before I go to bed, I'll check to make sure that they've all sealed. And then tomorrow I will take the rings off, clean the jars, label them, put them on the shelf.